Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest is a real talented comic and actor. He's currently on a show called 24-Hour Rental on Epix. Interesting description of that show. And we'll talk to him more about it. Berg is here. What's up, Barry?
Hey, Artie. Thanks for having me.
So give me the gist of this show. This sounds interesting. 24-Hour Rental.
Yeah, it's a gangster satire about this guy gets kicked out of the family, tries to work his way back in. So as a front, he opens up a 24-hour rental video store.
Right.
And out of there, they sell drugs. My wife and I run an escort agency and like an online thing.
Are you the lead guy?
No, Romano Ozari and an old friend of yours, Michael Bean. Remember from Terminator?
Yeah.
Bean's in there.
Yeah, right,
So
okay,
yeah, I'm Romano's best friend. I'm the Jewish kid that he grew up with.
So you're a regular on the show?
Yeah, all
That's
13
a fun
episodes.
Gig, right?
That's great. It's a dream come true. Dirty, funny.
Where'd you shoot it?
Hamilton, outside of Toronto, in Canada.
And you live here, but you're from Canada.
Yeah.
You're from Toronto.
Toronto originally.
Okay. That's a great city, Toronto. Like I said, I shot a movie there once. I lived there for 2 months shooting a movie at the Metropolitan Hotel, and I've done countless stand-up gigs there. I really love Toronto, man.
Yeah.
It's like a small, clean New York. Good food.
Yeah.
Good Italian food.
They've got problems now. Like, I mean...
Well, what were you saying? The mayor?
The mayor...
I think the mayor's entertaining.
I think he's great for the city. I mean, I think it's given us street cred.
Puts it on the map. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, they hate him up there.
Do they hate him?
I think most liberals hate him, but then, like...
Would he lose an election right now?
No, I think he'd win again. The suburbs love him. I mean, the blue-collar Joes love him.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Well, I medo you think... I don't know if you're a political guy or not. I don't know if you even know this, because a lot of political questions I have no idea about. I'm just talking about sheer popularity. Would you vote for him? Do you like him?
If I still lived in Toronto, that's an iffy question. I'm entertained by him. So yeah, I think
What
I
else
would.
could you ask for, really, from our new mayor, Manhattan? I'm very much on the fence with this guy. I don't know if I like him or not. I don't know if he's a boob or if he has something on the ball. He seems like, in a lot of ways, an idiot, but an unentertaining idiot. But maybe I'm wrong. It's short enough to where maybe he's smart. I don't. What do you think?
He's not entertaining.
Yeah, he's boring, right?
Yeah, I think
What do you
so.
think of the new guy here?
I think you were spoiled by Bloomberg because he became a parody of himself, and
He
he was
did.
like a Shatner. You know, he just he started making fun of himself.
Yeah.
I think this is going to take a couple years until this guy warms up.
He seems really nervous on camera. Like when he gets caught doing something like dumb, like that the New York media fries you about, like eating pizza with a fork. He seems like a deer in headlights. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know? He's not ready for that yet. But I don't know. But the Toronto mayor, as a comedian, once you get a hold of that type of material, you just got to wrap your hands around that very, very lovingly.
I always found, like, as a local, though, I would try and avoid those kind of things. Like, I would never be... If everybody else is going after the mayor, you're like, I don't want to go after the mayor. Let's go date a stripper for a month and then make a story about that.
Well, the problem is he's given... he's not letting up with the material. The stuff he does, and it's all on tape. But that's why I say the fact that now this generation everyone has a camera.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone had a camera in 1989, if all of my buddies had a camera on them in 1989, I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah.
There'd be stuff recorded that I just wouldn't be able to be around.
Yeah. You have to watch all the time what you're doing now.
Pretty much.
Anyone could be shooting anything.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. Now, what part of town do you live in?
Harlem.
You like it up there?
It smells like cocoa butter. It's fantastic.
And what else could you ask for in a neighborhood?
Yeah.
How long have you lived there for?
3 years.
Yeah. And you do comedy mostly on the road?
I do. I work in the city every night, and if I'm not in the city, then I go wherever I can. I did Israel this year, just did Japan.
You went to Israel?
Yeah.
Now, how'd you do that? Through what?
I had a manager in Canada, still do, and they put together this thing where they...
A tour.
A tour, and then they were like, we're going to take all Jewish comics, and I'm Jewish, and then they were like, no, we don't want any Jewish comics. And then they were like, oh, that's
really?
weird.
What?
So, I don't know. They wanted to see different people's
We're touring
experience.
Israel. No Jews.
There's no Jews here. We have a list of people.
That is odd.
Yeah.
Who would suggest that?
I don't know. And then they finally let me go as a Jew, and they shot it as a documentary for CBC, which is like the big thing in
that's cool.
Canada. Yeah. So it was.
Is that available to watch now?
Yeah, Universal Language. It's still touring like festivals and stuff like that, so it hasn't been like officially released. They did a few screenings of it, but it was great. They gave us this gig in Palestine. No one told us we were gigging in Palestine.
Oh my God.
And we went, and the host opened up. He's like, "It's great to be here in Israel." They're like, "This is not Israel." And like vapid, huge walkout. People just really offended.
He walked the room by saying it's good to be here in
walked
Israel.
like about 60 people. It was an
On the
outdoor
first
gig.
line.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, we don't know anything about like where you're standing. If you're from here, you know, you could be in Palestine.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's all that's a microcosm of why that war is so ridiculous. It's all just dirt. It's the same stuff. They're fighting over just the same dirt.
Yeah,
you know?
that's exactly it.
Doesn't make any sense. Well, that's a ballsy thing to do, though.
Yeah,
I mean, I went to Afghanistan during the war, and that was kind of crazy. Israel, though, was always unstable, unfortunately, you know, because of what's going on over there.
I didn't feel fear, though. Like, did you feel fear when you were in Afghanistan?
Well, we were under the first 4 days. No, we were there 8 days, but then the fourth day we were under mortar attack.
Okay.
And we had to go into a bunker. So after that, we were always. But even after that, it was something about the guys, the Marines. They gave you a sense of security that I never really felt. Even though I guess I should have. It made the papers like it was a 45-minute mortar attack. They had us on their guard. And the next 4 days we stayed there. It was hard to get out of the country, but I never remember being scared. No.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe I should have been. Did you ever have that at all?
No, I mean, I just did Okinawa, but you know, there's nothing happening over there.
It's been years.
Yeah,
Okinawa, it's been years since
Yeah.
that's been. You're fine there. But it should be that way with Israel. I got to feel like that should have been resolved a long time ago. But it hasn't been. That's the problem. It hasn't.
There's so much division in that country and so much racism
Very
amongst
scary.
races.
Very scary. Yeah. Like on a different level than we even know here.
Yeah.
Like, did you encounter any of that personally?
I mean, no, we offended people, but you know.
That's a comic's job.
Yeah, yeah. We had a lot of people really ticked off, but I never felt unsafe. I think you're just like embracing the whole experience. Being like, if I die, you know, there's worse ways to go down.
It's a great way to go, as a matter of fact, because you look like a hero.
Yeah, and there's a documentary being shot
That's
about
what
it.
I always said to my mother. My mother was all a little scared. I went to Afghanistan. Mom, if I die doing this, it'd be horrible to die playing like the Funny Bone in Columbus, Ohio. You know, but you know, this. I was in Afghanistan. He died a hero. Blah blah blah.
Entertaining 14 people in a tent. He's a martyr
Under mortar attack. Did you? Did the people producing the gig? Did they give you subjects you could not touch in your material?
No, I mean, I've always been a really dirty dude, so I think most of the time when they take me on these things, they're like, do what you. I'm not. I've never done a corporate. Like I'm just that guy that's like I can't. My mind doesn't think like that.
But I'm not even talking
laziness.
about cursing. I'm just talking about a subject in general, like political or anything like that.
I think they wanted us to avoid that, but as comics, you know, you tell them don't do this. You know, that's the first thing that we're gonna do. So that's
exactly.
we had people really upset, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've told a story. David Tell was one of the comics I was on the tour with in Afghanistan. And one of the subjects we couldn't talk about was masturbating. They said under no circumstances can you talk about masturbating. So you talk about a typical rebellious comic. We all said, okay, we won't talk about that. And we went out.
Wait, what? Why would they not want you to talk about masturbating?
I guess they never really fully explained it. We were just told, look, there's no argument here.
They just had
they don't want the
too
soldiers,
much
they don't want the
masturbating
soldiers
going
thinking
on?
about that. Yeah, I guess.
They wanted to dissuade them from just
I guess they didn't want the subject brought up
whacking it
for some
right there?
reason. Yeah.
while watching.
I guess.
That just seems bizarre, doesn't it?
David Tell's first joke was, okay, you know, like we can't talk about masturbating. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to talk about it. But I would like to talk about this time I had sex with a sock with shampoo in it. And that's the way, you know, but you're right, like comics will be rebellious. And it didn't make any sense, John, you're right. You could argue until you're red in the face, but like, no, you just can't do it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe they don't want them expending energy.
Or just like anything, because they're around women and everything, like they don't want any,
well.
I don't know, just anything sexual like that. I don't know, but we could talk about sex.
I did the Marine base in Okinawa, and they let us go wherever we wanted to go.
Right.
Wherever we wanted to go.
Well,
like they give you a list of like, don't talk about the president, don't talk about sexuality.
That was big. The president was big.
Yeah. And then as soon as we got on stage, they eat the stuff up. But it's one of those things where they're like, please don't do this. And then you do it and the crowd loves it. And then they're like, oh, I guess it's okay.
Well, that's the big thing at corporate gigs or even like college gigs. They'll tell you, the political correctness at college gigs now. They go, listen, these are college students. They're a little more cerebral. Don't do your like lowbrow stuff. And that's all they want is lowbrow.
Yeah.
That's all a 19-year-old wants is like,
You still do colleges?
I've done some of them, yeah.
Wow.
If the pay's good, yeah, sure. Yeah. Sometimes they come up with some good scratch.
Yeah.
But they always have a list of things you can't do. And you're right. If the audience starts to laugh, you can go out the window.
Yeah.
Because then you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get this job on the TV show? Where do you audition for that?
I was here. I was in New York, and then I heard about this thing, and I talked to my agent. I was like, I really want to go out for this. They wouldn't see me. And then I said, get the director to come watch me do stand-up, because then I thought it was because they'd see me be comfortable with that kind of language. Yeah, they don't want to see you. So it was a fight, and then I got in the room. I had to go up to Toronto to do it. I came back to New York, nothing. And then like a month later, they're like, yeah, they want to see you again. Can you fly back on Wednesday? I said, all right. And I'm about to book a flight. And they said they changed their mind. Don't bother. And then a week later, they called and they're like, I want to see you again. I went back, and then I got this thing.
That's how it works, right?
It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Do you get mad at your agent after a series of events like that, where you go like you were wrong the entire time?
I think by that point, you're just happy to have a gig. I mean, that's how I was. I was like, oh, I'm just happy to be working at this point.
Have you ever done anything else in television, like where you were a regular on stuff?
No. I mean, I've done decent sized parts in movies and stuff like that, but it was
what film you
Boondock Saints 2.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Yeah, they get a big cult following.
No, it is.
That.
No, absolutely, yeah.
They're doing the third one right now. He just started writing the third one.
You gonna do that too?
I got shot in the second one.
Damn it!
Yeah,
you're like Sonny Corleone.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring me back.
Maybe be in a flashback like Sonny Corleone.
Yeah. And then what else? I did a good movie years ago called The Lookout with Joseph Gordon-Levitt before he ever took off.
That's big.
He's
a big deal.
What is he? He's the guy from
Third
what did he
Rock,
get big from?
Third Rock from
Oh, right,
the
exactly,
Sun.
right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And now
he's a real big deal.
He's a real
What was
big
he
deal
in? He
now.
was in what was he just Batman?
Don John.
Batman. He was in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's good.
What else? Detroit Rock City. What's this? Watching Falls.
He laughs at them falling. Isn't that terrible? And he laughs at their dreams being shattered.
When I see someone get hit that hard, it makes me laugh.
Sorry.
Slapstick
That
at
was
the
a really
highest
bad
level.
one. That was a really bad. She's standing. That's good. I mean,
So you don't take it to the other part where you hope they're paralyzed.
No, my initial response was I started laughing, and then I felt bad because she stayed down on the slope for a while. She seemed stunned. I mean, it looked like she landed on her
I hate to
face.
disappoint you, but it looks like she's going to be fine.
Yeah, her parents are so upset.
Those
right
are
now.
some good scores. That's not the same woman, right?
To this moment.
Is that the same girl?
You're worthless.
Yeah, maybe, John, you'll
We
be
should
happy.
have drowned you.
What Aaron's talking about, you'll be happy when their parents are yelling at them later. You suck!
Yeah.
Your younger sister was even more deformed than you. We're deforming her even worse with steroids and weightlifting.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll do something for the family. All right, I got to take a break. Back after this, Aaron Berg is here from 24-Hour Rental. Back after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Comedian, actor Aaron Berg is here, and me, him, and John are just been reduced to we're just making fun of the
Very childish.
these skiers falling off the. What
The
do they
freestyle?
What do
What
they
is this
call this
called?
event?
Freestyle, right?
The Who Sucks Less event.
This is Olympic level bloopers.
I don't understand how they're scoring it, because some of these people who are wiping out, they help them up, they get over there, and they get scored well.
Well, because they suck less than the last person.
Well, it's
very
I don't
hard
understand.
to do. It's very hard to land, even on any level.
I guess.
I like that Artie said normal people could do everything except the landing. Flipping
No, for
through the
real,
air.
No, really. I mean, like an average human being, even out of shape human being.
I don't think I could do that. I'm
You
worried
could
my
spin.
back would go up.
All they do is, the back.
Well, yeah.
is
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You would
You'd probably
die.
You'd probably be hurt, but
Yeah.
or you'd be injured.
but you could do it.
Yeah. Oh, you could do this part.
I could do this, and I could probably
and
go,
then
and you got no choice
You
but to do
launch
this.
and then start spinning as fast as you can.
And then she made it.
Almost.
I don't know, man.
See, that's a goal.
See, that was not a clean landing.
No, it wasn't
Right,
a
but
clean
compared
landing.
to the other ones we've
I
seen,
saw one that was a perfectly clean landing. I mean, the
That's a goal.
hills like this, she came down exactly at the proper angle, and she didn't get as high a score as the last woman who fell.
Now, Aaron, you're a big hockey fan.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're a big Leaf fan.
Big Leaf fan, yeah.
So USA is playing Russia this morning coming up. What's Canada looking like? What are they?
They look good. They're more apologetic of a team than the United States. Because Canada traditionally, they got in trouble. Their first game, they won 3-1. And then all the Canadians are like, what? They barely won. You got to go because USA won, what, 7-1?
Something like that.
First game. So they think Canada's got to step it up. So they won 6-0 earlier today. So
How do you feel?
Who'd they play today? Austria.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about the fact that this is the last year that they're going to use pros for the Olympics?
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I don't like the NHL season having to take a break.
Really?
It really throws me off.
I think most NBA fans would say the same thing about the basketball situation. Though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the NBA season doesn't get affected, but I mean, I'm just the level of competition. It should be amateurs. It should be real.
I agree.
Amateurs,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder
That's
why.
true. The other thing with the hockey thing on top of the NBA is that it affects the regular season.
Yeah.
It's,
And the hockey season's already way too long when you take playoffs, and you got like 3 months of playoffs.
those
after.
guys got to be in shape, man.
Yeah.
Did you
because-
play hockey?
I played in high school. I went to this boarding school. I was a really bad kid, so they're like, you got to do one sport. And I could barely skate, so I would just fight. And I was a
Right.
horrible skater.
Well,
and
why
I
not pick
fight.
another sport?
I don't know. Well, what else do you do in the wintertime?
It
It's
had to be a
Canada.
winter
Yeah,
sport?
it's like you do that or you curl.
Couldn't play baseball in the
Wow,
summer.
see, that would have been cool.
I
Did
played
they have
baseball in the
curling
summer,
people?
yeah.
Did people
yeah,
do
they had curling
curling?
people. Yeah, we had rugby too. I never played
That's
rugby.
bizarre. We don't have curling here.
Because you're an educated country. Curling is one of the most boring sports.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who even keeps learning how to curl? That's my.
Yeah,
Who
what-
keeps teaching children how to curl?
Apparently, people at these boarding
Yeah,
schools.
in Canada.
And what would you do? What did you excel at? The throwing or the? What?
Yeah, Did you
no, I
curl?
never curled. I never did
You
it.
never
No, I
curled?
think maybe tried it once.
That was
you
an
have
option?
friends
See, I
who
would have
curl?
gone curling
Yeah,
all the
this
way.
is my first roommate in college. The guy was an idiot. Just couldn't be around him.
And he curled?
Yeah, he curled. It was his life. He was like, I love curling. And then they justify it by drinking a lot, like after their curling match.
He
And it
said,
makes
"I
him feel
loved
better.
curling"?
He loved curling, this guy.
You might as well drink before and during your match
it's
because
a
it takes
nightmare.
no real. It seems like no real skill.
Most boring sport.
I imagine like the other people on your
It's cool for drinking, like shuffleboard.
Yeah, but imagine the
Nice
other
drinking game.
other people on your curling team getting mad. Damn it, Ingve, you're drinking too much.
You're vomiting on the stone.
You're an insult to curling.
You can't sweep when you're hammered, Ingve. You're a debacle.
sweep.
Yeah.
They sweep in that
They
sport.
do. They sweep. I
is
don't get it.
it's
I don't get what.
amazing.
I don't get what happens. I don't get how the.
It's fun to watch them get all fired up about something that's just so mundane.
Yeah.
Well, it's an
That's-
Olympic. It's
that's
an
the cool
Olympic gold.
part.
That's the thing. You talk about getting laid. It's an Olympic gold medal. That's what they're going for. An Olympic
Yeah.
gold medal.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
All right, well, we got to take another break. Aaron Berg is here. When is 24-hour rental? When is that on?
Comes out on Tuesday. Starts airing on Super Channel in Canada, and then we're waiting to hear for the American release date. So we don't have the American release date yet.
24-hour rental. Back with the last segment. More Aaron Berg. More curling talk. More laughing at people's failures. The Artie Lange Show. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Aaron Berg is here, actor, comedian. He's on 24-hour rental.
Author.
And
Yeah.
author.
I just wrote
What's
a
his
book.
book?
It's
Now,
called
what's that about?
Mr. Manners. It's a guide to etiquette for the modern degenerate.
Now, I got to tell you, you look very etiquette up.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you got
The dress vest.
Yeah, this is my
That's a
new
good
thing.
look, yeah.
Because
Then a tie.
Yeah, I'm really dirty, so
That's
I thought
a
if I
new
dress
thing?
up, yeah.
Is that new?
Yeah, I only started doing this maybe like 4 months ago. I was like a T-shirt and jeans guy. And
So
I got-
why'd you start doing this?
Because I thought I'm older and I don't need to look like a bum anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is
That's a
that
good
an
look.
indirect dig at myself?
No, but then I thought about that after I said it, and I was like, I sound like an idiot now.
Because
And I'm looking at you when I did it. I don't want to look like a
because
bum anymore.
I'm older and I don't want to look like a bum, morbidly obese anymore. I'm one of those weirdos.
I want to live right.
Take care of himself. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I'd be so sarcastic every 5 minutes. Now, is it, has it been helping your life? Like, do you feel more positive?
I feel more positive. I feel more, yeah. I feel more confident. I feel positive.
Does being less cynical maybe hurt your comedy?
Oh, yeah. I haven't written anything new since I've started wearing a vest.
You know what I'm talking about. It's like sometimes you feel like if you think more positive, some comics think, maybe I'll be less funny or something.
I think, I mean, I've been doing it 13 years, so it's like, I feel funnier. I'm not as funny as I was when I was incredibly bitter. I mean, it was much funnier then. But
well, why were you incredibly bitter?
Yeah, I had some tough years, so I was like,
you did?
Yeah, I mean, I worked
based on what? I mean, you don't have to tell us everything, but
I dabbled as a male stripper for a few years.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And was that really bitter for you?
I mean, afterwards, because socially, I think it made me very inept in terms of normal situations. When you walk around naked in front of a room full of women, you kind of feel some sense of entitlement.
I got to tell you, my bitterness is from a totally different place than that.
Yeah.
Now, how long did you do that for?
Year and a half.
Just a year and a half?
Year and a half, and I was a bodybuilder full of roids for years. You can't tell by looking at me. The vest hides everything.
But did that affect your mental state in a bad way?
I break down crying for no reason the middle of the day. I get out of my car and like run up to other people's windows, like road rage, punching windows and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
And and once you stopped the roids, do you think that then you saw a direct change?
It took years. I mean, there was still leftovers from that abuse. You know,
wow.
It took years to become.
That is scary.
What kind of steroids? Yeah. What did you take?
Winstrol, Primobolan.
Yeah, I've heard of the Winstrol.
Anadrol.
Winstrol's like it's like for cutting you up. And speed.
Yeah.
That's the one. Don't they give that to horses?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Why would I take something they don't give to horses? Why would I take something they don't give to horses? What am I, wasting my time?
I'm not testing stuff they don't use on horses.
Well, it sounds like you were taking some serious stuff.
Yeah. It was good times.
Yeah, jerk off.
Yeah.
Weren't you worried about like the ball shrinkage or any of that stuff?
I mean, we still deal with that every day. You avoid mirrors.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem it doesn't seem like it jibes taking roids and being a male stripper where you have to be naked in front of ladies. You would think
I don't think women are paying to look at testicles. This is horrible. $30. Look how small those nuts are.
They pay for other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I guess so.
The hardest part about doing cocaine for me, I've said this before, was seeing myself in the mirror every time I had to do it. That was the worst part about it. I want to thank Mandy Statmiller for coming in. She's always great. News Horrors, her podcast. Chris Mannix, of course, and Aaron Berg, man. Real funny guy. Check him out on a show called 24 Hour Rental. Hopefully coming up on Stars or Epic soon. And come back anytime, brother.
The book, Mr. Manners.
And the book, Mr. Manners.
Comes out on Amazon.com next week.
If you don't want to be a slob like me.
Yeah.
Aaron, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.